Hey everybody, welcome back to Auto Finesse USA. I'm your head detailer Sam, and we are so excited to get into our first big detail here in the USA. This is a 2002 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am WS6, the last year of its kind. What we now know about the car is it was being built for TX2K. What we can see about it is it was outfitted with nitrous, it's got the metal widebody, the interior had been stripped, and it was sitting on blocks. For reasons unknown, the project was never finished and the car was put in storage for about the last 13 or 14 years. Our friend Autrey at BMP Tuning rang us up and said he needed our help. He bought this storage unit sight unseen, didn't really know what he got himself into. We saw a couple pictures of the car and we said, yeah, we can help you out with that. We sent a truck down to Dallas to bring it back here. It arrived this morning and we cannot wait to get into this restoration, see what the results come out. Let's get into the wash bay. All right, we've got it into the wash bay and we're gonna get started on this decontamination wash. Now, there is a lot of dirt and grime built up on the exterior of this car, so rather than straight away getting in there with a pressure washer, we're gonna soak it down with some Citrus Power Bug and Grime Degreaser and help lift a lot of this stuff off, make it safer for us to clean all that debris off the paint without inflicting more swirls and scratches. We've got our Citrus Power in our pressure sprayer here because, to be honest, we need a lot of citrus power to get this grime off of here, and we want to have as long of a continuous spray as we can. So Citrus Power done, which has lifted quite a bit of the dirt and grime off, to be honest, but we got a long way to go. So we're going to step into Dynamite, our traffic film remover, next, do a pass with this, rinse it all off. We'll dive into the engine bay after that stage. And as with any wash, of course, the goal of all of this is to avoid contact until we've removed as much grime as possible. We're gonna tackle it with everything we got before we put a mitt on the paint. Try and preserve whatever's underneath all this dirt. Okay, we have finished quite an extensive pre-wash stage. Citrus Power, Dynamite all over the exterior. We've gone into the engine bay, done Eradicate on everything, Verso in the door jams, which means it's time to get into snow foam. Let's get Avalanche out, get it foamed up. And while that foam is sitting on there, we're gonna take our feather tip brush, get in those crevices of the mirrors and the seals. Make sure nothing is clogging up those pieces there. So we have finished with the contact stage, and we are gonna get into decontamination. Now the paint actually cleaned up pretty decently with that mitt wash. You know, scratches and scuffs aside, I think a lot of that dirt has lifted off now. Iron out, obliterate, re-wash it with lather, and then we clay bar it. Now we go over it once more with a mitt wash with lather. That's gonna help us remove any of that iron out and obliterate residue. And then we move to the final stage, clay bar, before we dry it off. All right, y'all, the car has been washed. Decon is complete. We've got it here in the detail bay, and we're getting a good look at what state the paint is in now that all that dirt and grime has been cleaned off. We have got our friends Jeff and Tim from Knox Auto Spa, local guys here. They're gonna be helping us out. This is a group project, and it is definitely gonna take a group effort. There's a lot of hazing, a lot of oxidation, there's a lot of cloudiness in this paint, and there's also gonna be a lot of gloss under there once we get it cleaned off. So let's jump right into it. In addition to our friends from Knox Auto Spa, the man himself, James, has flown over from England because he was so excited to take part in our first big detail. Now, with a team like this working on the correction, we will be using our Auto Finesse DPX and MPX machine polishers paired with our newly released Professional Series compounds and polishes. Starting with the cutting stage, we'll be using our heavy cut compound with our heavy foam cutting pads. The whole team has finished up the cutting and polishing process, minus some badge removal, cleaning up a little bit under there. But overall, James, what are your thoughts on the condition of the car?
Yeah, I'm really happy so far with how this has gone. You never really know what you're dealing with until you get stuck into these big projects. It depends how much the dirt or water spots or moss has really bitten into it. We're going to need to finish out the paint as well because we've done the cutting stage, but we want to refine that down more before we put on a wax or anything. I don't really see too many other areas that are going to need major attention or soak up loads of time at this point, so I think we're making good progress.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm happy with the way the paint came out. Now we've just kind of got a list to knock out today, little bits here and there to get everything wrapped up before we, finish up, put some wax on, get it ready for show. Our friends at American Racing have got us set up with a brand new set of wheels that should fit perfectly, especially with this wide body on the WS6. Now, remember, this car was sitting on blocks. As we were going around we noticed that these rear discs were just too far gone, and we couldn't stand the thought of having them be the backdrop to these new American racing wheels. So thankfully we were able to source some new rotors locally, got those mounted up, and it will be a perfect look with these American racing wheels. We're gonna protect these wheels with our Mint Rims wheel wax, a very, very nice high temp paste wax that will protect them for months and months to come. After sitting for more than a decade, some of these trim bits certainly needed some help. We're gonna be using our Revive trim gel, making sure and bring that gloss, clean them up, but most importantly, protect them against UV rays for the future. Of course, we're gonna finish these tires off with our satin tire cream. And when you have a low profile tire like this, our tire and trim applicators are the perfect tool to ensure complete coverage, but also making sure you don't get any excess product on the wheel itself. You hear a lot of people these days talk about the benefits of ceramic coating, but the truth of the matter is, when it's a show car and you want that deep, wet, glossy look, nothing beats a good paste wax. And ours is top of the line. We will be using our Illusion Show Wax on the entire vehicle, putting a couple of coats on, and we will see just how glossy this paint looks when it's on. We have officially finished our first big detail here at Auto Finesse USA, and we couldn't be happier. We had an amazing team working alongside us this week. The guys from Knox Auto Spa came out, and together we got the results that were even better than what we had hoped for. No reason to delay it any further. Let's go get the owner and show him what we've got. Can you believe what we got out of this thing?
I can't. You know, when I first bought it and it was in the storage unit, I bought it sight unseen with one picture of the hood covered in dirt. I never thought it would look like this underneath it all.
Did you know it was black paint under there at the first?
Yes.
You assumed?
That's about it. That's all you can do.
The paint itself, deep down, was actually in pretty decent shape, but it was covered in oxidation and hazing and cloudiness. There were some spots, remember, on the hood that looked like maybe some fluids or some oils or something that sat on there. We were worried about the spoiler being too far gone. And even the T-bar here was pretty rough shape. I mean, we had a team of 4 guys on it, man. So we spent about a day and a half cutting and polishing and refining, and come to find that this is what was under there. And I'll tell you this, I think you were right, the right call on the American Racing wheels.
Yeah,
Perfect
the wheels
style.
look perfect on it. Fitment's pretty good, meaty.
And then, you know, interior, of course, some had been replaced, but the rest of it we were able to get all steamed out and clean. Engine bay completely steamed. Did a little bit of touch-ups in there on a few things that were faded. But overall, I couldn't be happier, but it doesn't matter what I think. What do you think?
Oh man, it's sick. I can't wait to see inside and pop the hood real quick and take a look. No, everything looks great.
Brand new.
Yeah, it's a great looking car. Y'all did a fantastic job.
It was our pleasure, and I think the transformation on this one is it's better than what we hoped for, truly.
Yeah, I mean,
we were
had
hoping
no
for a
idea what
clean
was
car,
underneath,
but
so, we didn't know if the paint was good, bad. I figured that it would look like it was painted in 2002, not that it was painted last week. So
yeah,
it looks great. Y'all did a fantastic job. I appreciate it very much, sir. Thank you.
After seeing the results, Autrey was so impressed that he decided to hand over the keys to James for a little bit of fun. After all, that's what this car was built for.